Each of us is so much more powerful than we have any idea about. We've learned in lifetime after lifetime to give our power away. But what I'm going to be focusing on today is how to take our power back by understanding how we gave it away. And from a particular perspective today, from the particular perspective of being a woman, we have the power to choose what our lives will be, every bit of the intricate details of our lives. And so the topic of my show today is titled, Why You Chose to Be a Woman. The name of the show is Living Wisdom, and I'm Patty Paul. The physical world is an illusion. It's made up of energy that is either by moving by a flowing wave-like action, or it stands still and vibrates in the form of subatomic particles. Science in the realm of quantum physics, quantum mechanics, has proven this over and over. And the latest discoveries in those areas of science are proving even more how this world truly is an illusion, a holographic illusion. And each one of us has the power to create our own version of the illusion. And if it isn't working right, if those relationships we've created, those successes or lack of successes are not working for us, we alone have the power to change it. Now, we've each of us given our power away to many authorities, quote unquote, not just in this lifetime, but in the many hundreds, if not thousands of lifetimes that we've had in the past. Some of us, and I believe at the current time, the great majority of human beings have chosen to be women in this lifetime. In every lifetime, we have the choice of where we're going to be born, who those significant other beings are going to be in our reality, like our nuclear family. It's all a matter of cooperation. We have our issues to work on. Those others who have come to us in a form of cooperation and mutual agreement, they have their issues. And so we come together when the new lifetime begins, when we're born into the lifetime, with this nucleus of other beings who are there to, we each can learn from each other, each learn about ourselves from each other. We mirror each other in many ways. Those of us who have chosen to be women in this lifetime have part of the reason is because in the past, as women, and we've been women maybe half the time, we've chosen in other lifetimes to be men. As women, we have given our power away in a particular kind of way. In a sense, we have abandoned our own inner strength, our own power, and given it away to the authorities, which for the last several thousands of years have been the patriarchal, twisted in male chauvinism authorities. And indeed, we've given it away to men. Again, we've been those men in past lifetimes too who have taken the power, but to remember that we've always made our own choices about what we do throughout our life. We can always change our mind. We can always make new choices. The first step to making new choices is, of course, awareness. And so that's my motivation for speaking in this way, is to give an understanding, to raise the awareness of what has gone on in the past. So here we are as women who have traditionally for hundreds and thousands of years been seen as subservient, as inferior, as having less value than men, because that is how, over those many centuries, we have set it up. So every woman shares a common goal, whether they are aware of it or not, and most are not, a common goal to take back our power from those patriarchal male authorities that we've given them to. That doesn't mean just men, but to all those establishments that were set up by the reigning patriarchal society and civilization. The world now is going through a tremendous change, a tremendous evolution of consciousness. It's been out of balance for so long, out of balance, lopsided, in the favor of this patriarchal, male-dominated belief system and society. Again, not to blame anybody for this. We all participated in setting it up that way. And I would say that we set it up that way so that there would be a time for each one of us individually when we could say, aha, I see what has gone on, now I'm taking it back. Just a decision like that can help you take your power back. Women have other common perceptions of their place in the world. Of course, each of us are individuals, and so when we come into a lifetime, we have our own unique list of our own agenda, let's say, of things that we want to focus on for our own personal growth and change in any particular lifetime. But many of those focuses, many of those issues and those goals are similar to ones that other women have, similar to ones that other people have. But in this show, the focus is on women and their perspective and their ability to see what has happened in the past and to take their power back in the way that is suitable. One of the common ways that we've given our power away is starting at the very basic level in our relationships with men. Somewhere along the line, way back when, we agreed that it would be men who would run the world, so to speak. And in exchange for giving away that part of our power, we were supposed to be taken care of. Over the many lifetimes, over the many centuries, that has gotten, being taken care of has now gotten to be saved. The most independent, the most intelligent, the most the woman, let's say, who has learned to take care of herself in her lifetime has had great successes. There still often is a part of her that wants to be saved, that wants to be taken care of, whether it's emotionally, financially, sexually, or in any versions, any variations, any combinations of those areas. And so to understand that it can never happen, no matter how many relationships we go into with a man, or in the case of homosexual relationships, the other party who seems to have the more masculine energies prevailing, which is, in the lesbian world, that would be the equivalent of the male authority figure. We give our power away, and then it's, now take care of me, make me happy, or satisfy me, or make me financially secure, or support me emotionally. Speaking just for myself, my personal growth really got a jump start back in 1985 when I finally sat down and I looked at my past history of relationships. And while I had always been independent, and while I almost virtually raised my 2 children on my own, nevertheless, I could see there was this needy part of me that was looking for some man, daddy, to give me what I didn't think I had, to give me financial security, emotional security, to prove that I was loved, to prove that I was worth loving, to prove that I was valuable. Most of us know enough about psychology to understand that in our early years in a lifetime, the influences of our relationships with our fathers and our mothers have a great influence on how we relate to men and women later in life. And so I certainly did have more and more of that understanding for myself, that psychological understanding. But the issue of relationships has been one that it's an ongoing discovery for me. And in the past year, I've really gotten deeper down into the underlying issues, which for me had to do with essentially feeling that I wasn't lovable. Therefore, I needed somebody else or something else to come into my life to prove that I was, which can never happen, so that's the ultimate catch-22. Even though my own story is uniquely mine, there certainly are echoes of it, variations of it, within many women and, of course, within many men. Somehow we're trying to get the love we didn't get enough of when we were a child. That would be looking at it from the up-close, let's say, triple magnifying glass view, looking through maybe even a 7 times magnifying glass, looking at our personal life, the relationships we had with our parents, with our siblings, and throughout our life, the relationships we had with men, women, which are also echoes of the original relationships with mother and father. Now, gaining an awareness, stepping back a bit, and looking at the bigger picture of what is reflected by these various relationships that we've had throughout our life, having a deeper understanding and knowledge of how the physical world works and how we work not only as human beings but as spiritual beings. This is what I've learned that I will share with you. Each of us, of course, is part of the illusion. Our physical body certainly seems solid enough, but if you put any part of your body through an X-ray, you see how transparent it is. if you put a piece of your skin under a microscope, you would see moving molecules and atoms and things. So the reality is our physical body is just something that we have created that is a reflection of the higher levels of who we are. Everything is made up of energy. All of our beliefs, energies. All of our emotions, energies. Thoughts, feelings, choices and decisions. They're all energies that are moving. In different issues like relationships, those various beliefs that are related to relationships and the emotions around relationships, they kind of come together. And it's out of that focus, shall we say, focus of energies, that we physically manifest the kind of relationships that we have the beliefs about. Like mine, which was, okay, Patty, you can be independent, you can raise your children, you can somehow find the financial wherewithal to pay the bills. But to be really a whole person and to be truly lovable and loved, you need another person to do that for you. In my case, it happened to be a man. Quite often it was almost any man who paid attention to me because I didn't think I was really valuable enough to get someone who was successful. And also, with my more recent understanding, the vibrations that we send out with all of these energies that are flowing inside of us, they attract just the others who are on the same wavelength, so to speak. So a person who's really together as far as balance and harmony, as far as success, as far as loving themselves, they're vibrating at a different resonance, and they will attract others who are on that same level. Anyway, getting back to a bigger picture of what's going on here. The relationships that we have, again, with men and women throughout our life, whether we're women or men, physically as a gender, those are reflections of a bigger picture. The bigger picture is this one. Each of us has personal energies that are, we have a set of feminine energies, we have a set of masculine energies. Each one of us, whether you're a man or a woman, you have these available. They are available. They are part of what it is to be a being. The feminine energies are these. Beauty. Not physical beauty, oh no. The beauty of the soul, which is manifested in our world in the most beautiful things around. Flowers, fragrances, the beautiful feelings of compassion and love, understanding, gratitude, forgiveness, that area of beauty. Of course, in our chauvinistic world, feminine means a woman with physical beauty, and oh my, how we do bend and twist ourselves to fit some chauvinist idea of what beauty is. But that core beauty, that beauty of the soul, that is one of the components of feminine energy. And then there's feminine grace. As women, because we've chosen to be women, feminine grace would be the essential part of who we are. It is a way of being. Like a gazelle has a particular kind of grace. An eagle that soars in the sky has its own grace. A whale that sails, an enormous whale that can just glide through the ocean, that is a certain kind of grace. So in that same sense, women have a particular kind of grace, or there is a feminine grace, shall we say. Men have that available to them, but because they've chosen to be men in this lifetime, that is not an overt quality. And then elegance. No, I'm not talking about high society, haute couture, fancy restaurants. No, 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 no. Again, that's the chauvinist idea of what elegance is. Elegance is ease. It's efficiency that flows, a beautiful flowing without struggle, without sacrifice, without strain, without pain. That kind of energy of elegance. These beauty, feminine grace, elegance, those are feminine components of feminine energy. Now, the power that is inherently within feminine energy is this: the power to open space. That means the power to make way, the power to create new space that wasn't there before, and along with the power to open space, which only feminine energy has, is the power to create. Not the creation itself, but the power to create. Only feminine energy has the power to open space and the power to create. That doesn't mean that only women have this. Again, I'm not talking about gender right now. I'm not talking about women. I'm talking about feminine energy, which is available to men as well. Masculine energy. Masculine energy also, each of us has the resonance of masculine energies that are specific within us. Masculine energy, that is strength and talent. However that plays out. Emotional strength, fortitude, courage. Masculine grace. Again, those who have chosen to be men, masculine grace would be the foremost of the two kinds of grace. Masculine grace, the power that's inherent in that, again, without the struggle or the domination, but just coming from within. Also part of the masculine energies, some of the components, confidence and courage. Doesn't mean that only men have strength and talent, only men have confidence and courage. No, no, no. These energies are available to all of us. Now, the power that the masculine has is authority and permission. What we have done as women, and certainly what I have done many, many times throughout my earlier lifetime, was I said, I will be this. I will be the woman according to the prevailing chauvinism, which focuses on physical beauty. I will act like a woman that do what is expected from a woman according to the chauvinist handbook, and elegance, however that played out for me. Of course, I wasn't consciously aware of these things in those days. And then I said, okay, you man or you men, you have the strength and talent. You have the confidence and courage. You have the authority and permission. So in that way, I abandoned my own masculine energy. Again, this was all on the subconscious level. I didn't even know about this stuff in the earlier days. And this is something I'm still working on for myself. So I abandoned my own feminine power, gave this part up, and I just expected a man or whoever the prevailing masculine authority was that I thought to do it for me. And we women have done this so many times, really over and over in so many versions, so many variations. So the whole point of my talk today is how we can, within ourselves, develop all of the feminine energies, develop all of the masculine energies, integrate those, balance and harmonize these energies within ourselves. And then we don't need to turn to anyone else to give us the authority and permission to do anything, because it's part of who we are. We have the strength and talent within us. We have the confidence and courage within us because it's part of these masculine energies. And also, of course, we are developing this inner kind of beauty and feminine grace and elegance without the struggle, without the martyrhood and sacrifice. And then we stand on our power to be the ones to open new space, such as a new relationship, a new society, a new world. And each one of us has the power to create those things. I want to thank you very much for paying attention to my show today. Again, the name of the show is Living Wisdom, and I'm Patty Paul.